The hardest part of the 2-week wait isn't the waiting itself, it's believing that every sensation, or the absence of one, might already contain the answer. The video opens inside that private ritual of checking the body for evidence before the mind even fully wakes up, then reveals that the real reason symptom checking becomes compulsive has less to do with symptoms than she thinks. Hypervigilance created by uncertainty, afraid that feeling nothing means failure, afraid to trust any symptom because hope feels dangerous. FROM, my body must be giving me an answer. If I monitor every symptom closely enough, maybe I can work out whether the transfer succeeded. 2. My body doesn't owe me an early answer. A symptom or no symptom can't carry the weight of a final result. I can notice what I feel without turning every sensation into a prediction. I'm allowed to live inside the wait instead of investigating myself every minute. Symptom checking is often an attempt to create certainty where certainty isn't available yet. The goal isn't to stop caring or stop noticing her body, it's to stop asking uncertain sensations to provide an answer they can't reliably give. Her body isn't a test she's failing to interpret. Before you've even fully opened your eyes, you check. Are your breasts still sore? Is the cramping still there? Do you feel different than yesterday? And if you feel nothing at all, completely, ordinarily normal, that becomes its own kind of alarm, quieter than the others but no less loud in your head. This is the IVF 2-week wait. And for a few seconds every single morning, you're not simply waking up, you're searching for evidence before you've even said a word out loud. There's one reason this becomes so hard to stop, and it has less to do with the symptoms themselves than you think. We'll get to it. Most waiting periods hold their answer somewhere outside of you, in a phone call, an email, a piece of paper. This wait feels different, because the answer seems to be forming silently inside your own body. That creates a quiet, persuasive idea. If you pay close enough attention, maybe you can find it early. You're not checking because you're dramatic. You're checking because uncertainty has moved the entire question inside you, and your body feels like the one place that might already know. So the loop begins. You notice a sensation, you interpret it, you search it, comparing your day to someone else's day 4, someone else's cramping, someone else's outcome. You find a dozen conflicting stories, and somehow all of them feel like they could be about you. The one who felt nothing and was fine, the one who felt everything and wasn't. For a moment, you feel steadier. Then the sensation shifts or disappears, and you're back at the beginning, searching again. The relief that searching gives you rarely survives the next hour, and by evening you're doing it all over again. Then there's the version of this that hits differently, feeling nothing at all. I feel nothing after my transfer is one of the most searched phrases during this wait, and it makes sense why. Silence doesn't feel neutral when you want an answer this badly. It starts to feel like evidence, but silence isn't an answer. It only feels like one because you've been waiting this hard, watching this closely, for this long. And the opposite is just as heavy. A cramp, a wave of tenderness, a tired afternoon. Something changes, and hope rises before you've decided to let it. Then it fades, and fear rushes in to fill the space it left. One small sensation ends up carrying far more meaning than any single sensation was ever built to hold. This is where the forums and the timelines come in the day-by-day symptom threads, the videos, the strangers comparing notes at every stage of their own wait. None of that makes you foolish for looking. Those spaces can offer real company during a lonely stretch of days, a sense that someone else understands exactly what this particular kind of waiting feels like, but someone else's story can only sit beside yours. It can't tell you how yours ends, no matter how closely the details seem to line up. So here's the part underneath all of it. You may not actually be searching for a symptom. You may be trying to protect yourself from being surprised. If you can predict the hard outcome early, maybe it won't hurt as much when it arrives. If you can find one hopeful sign, maybe you get to breathe for an afternoon. That instinct makes complete sense. But rehearsing every possible outcome in advance doesn't usually create control. More often, it means living through every version of the bad news before you've actually received any news at all. You don't have to keep doing that to yourself. Here's a steadier way to hold this, and it has 3 simple parts. Notice the sensation without deciding what it means. I notice cramping, not this means it worked, not this means it didn't. If tracking is something your clinic asks for, or something that genuinely helps you feel more settled, record it once in one place you trust, instead of rechecking it all day and rewriting the same note 5 different times. and respond by following your clinic's guidance. Call your care team if anything feels severe, unexpected, worsening, or unclear, or honestly, whenever you're unsure and want to hear a real answer instead of another guess. Then let your attention move on to the next hour in front of you, rather than the next possible outcome. It also helps to put a gentle edge around the searching itself. Pick one source you trust, instead of 10 scattered tabs open at once. Keep your questions for the clinic in one place, instead of chasing every new thread that promises an answer. And when the anxious pull to search shows up again, usually right when a new sensation appears or an old one vanishes, it's worth asking yourself one honest question. Am I actually looking for information right now? Or am I asking the internet to promise me an outcome it was never able to promise? You're still allowed to be a person during this wait, not only a monitoring system for your own body. You're allowed to laugh without feeling like you've jinxed anything. You're allowed to feel hopeful. You're allowed an ordinary hour where you're not thinking about any of this. None of that makes you careless, and none of it changes what your body is already doing on its own. Your body isn't a puzzle you're failing to solve. You haven't missed some secret sign hidden in a symptom, and you're not weak for checking as often as you have. You're doing this because the outcome matters enormously, and some part of you is trying to find certainty before certainty is ready to arrive. That instinct is human. You don't have to turn every sensation into a verdict, and hope doesn't become any safer just because you interrogate it. It's also not something you owe an answer to right now. This video offers emotional and organizational support, not medical advice. Please follow your clinic's instructions and contact your care team about any symptoms or concerns. What's been hardest during your 2-week wait? The symptoms, the absence of symptoms, or not knowing what either one means? If a single word is easier to write than a sentence, that's more than enough. If you're moving through IVF one uncertain day at a time, Embryo is here to help you feel more informed, more supported, and less alone. You do not have to solve the outcome today. You only have to meet the day in front of you.